Okay, so I want to talk about this, the quarterly star bonus, because here's the thing, guys. Rank is so important, obviously, to everybody, to individually, all that. We don't, in this group, our goal is, again, growth over maintenance. And I'm saying this, guys, because even I was kind of at some points in my journey as a coach, I was kind of like, okay, cool. I have a goal to get to Diamond because I want to earn a trip, because I want to earn a retreat, or I want to get into this group, things like that. But I honestly think that mindset almost sometimes makes you feel like, but once I get in, then I can kind of step back a little bit. Like, can anybody understand that? Like, does anybody ever feel like that? Like, okay, cool. Now I got there. Now I'm good. Like, I get it because I literally have been there, and all of my goals, not all of them, but like same thing when I wanted to get to 1 star because I wanted to be recognized my first summit. It was like, okay, I want to get to 1 star. So let me work with my, top coach and get her to 1 star. And then it was almost like both of us were like, okay, cool. Like, we got there, and you could take a step back a little bit. We can relax a little bit. And I feel like it was probably a little bit because I was thinking like that. You know what I mean? So as the leader, if I'm like, okay, we just gotta get there, we gotta get there, we gotta get there. And then okay, you got there. You did your, like we always say, like, like put in like what do I call it? Bridge the gap, Like, in other words, like, get somebody in there just to get to your rank. You know what I mean? Which I still 100% agree with, because I've even done that, like bridge the gap for like that month, because once you sign up a coach as a discount coach or whatever, that will give you that cushion for a month, right? Because they're active for 1 month. But what the mindset now is, while you're waiting for that month, make sure you're working your butt off to find a replacement for that gap that you're kind of filling in. You know what I mean? So the whole point of this call today is to really make sure that everyone understands that rank, because I did it, is that rank not only affects you, obviously your team cycle bonus, but it also hugely affects the team, your upline, and all of that. So the way that Beachbody works is that there's quarterly star bonuses, and obviously that happens every quarter. So it's 4 times a year. And we have that chart. I didn't pull it up on my phone, but I know I didn't pull up my computer to share my screen, but I know I posted it in the group. So I'm going to go, Susie, did you have questions? I'm going to get back to that in a second, but this is why I didn't go further after. See, exactly. So, and I kind of feel like, sorry, I'm totally going off track for a second, but I kind of feel like I was the person, not that I did that intentionally, but I feel like we all kind of had that mindset, like at some point, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm like, this year, growth over maintenance. It's not get to that goal so that you can go walk on the stage. It's not get on that. I mean, yes, but that's not the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? That's why we all know in our personal development and everything like that, it's no. Set this huge goal, and then you're going to help hit these amazing goals along the way. You know what I mean? So I don't want that whole, for myself, for any of you guys to teach your coaches, because if I was doing that, I know that I want to make sure that you guys aren't doing that as you start to get rising leaders and things like that, where you're not setting a goal that, okay, once they hit it, and that's just the natural thing to do in all of Beachbody, or pretty much in any kind of an industry. So now my goal again is, okay, great, you got to Diamond. Now let's get you to 2-star. Now let's get you to 5-star. Let's get you to blah, 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 blah. Not only in this group, but as you guys are relaying to your teams and your top prospects and your coaches. So, and Yvonne, you know it too. Like, you were like, same thing with getting to Diamond so that we can lock in elite, which, don't get me wrong, that's amazing. And there are going to be times that you're like, all right, we need to do it. Whatever it takes, you got to get there. But as long as your mindset is not, okay, good, now we got there. Like, you know what I mean? Now we can relax. No, that's out. Like, there's no more of that. And that's what I want to make sure, that we are creating this fiery, strong, like, motivating team, not a team that settles. Like, that's our biggest goal this year. And that's why I love having all of you guys, because you're with me. You agree with it. We're all on the same page. So I just wanted to point out, again, these quarterly star bonuses. So on that chart, there's honestly, I don't even want to think about the chart, because I just want us all to be in growth mode. So that Diamond, literally, guys, if we're struggling to keep Diamond, how are we going to continue to motivate our team to go for 1-star? Your individual coaches are going to want what you have, right? So if you're teetering and you're tottering and you're not being like, is Daniela 1-star? Like, oh, cool, Jen's 1-star. Oh, cool, Amanda just got to 1-star. Like, but they're watching you. They joined for you. So what you do and how much like growth you get is going to be a very big reflection on what your coaches do. So I don't even, like I said, I don't love this topic, because I don't even want to think about dropping Diamond. I want to think about you guys getting your team to 2 stars so you could start qualifying for these quarterly star bonuses. So anyway, so when I was talking to Jen a while back, she didn't even really realize before she became 2-star that quarterly star bonuses were really necessarily a thing, and she had any impact on me as far as getting the quarterly star bonuses and qualifying for them. So I was like, well, damn, I bet you probably these girls don't know that either, and their coaches won't know that unless you relay that to them eventually as they start working. And that, guys, you all know that incentivizes people, that motivates people, because people want to help each other. So if there's another reason, like, hey, also if we work together, because you're working with them. It's not like you're saying, hey guys, get to diamond and then I'm going to get this bonus. That's not what you're saying. You're saying, like, look, I'm working hard. I will help you every step of the way. Let's mentor each other. Let's help each other. And here's a few of the things that are going to happen if we continue to grow our team. So you're going to get these quarterly star bonuses, but they're also going to see that, and they're going to want to work towards getting those quarterly star bonuses and motivate and show them all that's possible. So the way that the quarterly star bonuses work is, like I said, you have to hold with your team, and they start at 2-star. So again, guys, this is another benefit of getting to 2-star. Yes, definitely, Yvonne. She's awesome. She's in. And that's the best feeling ever when you start getting people. We all know that when you start getting people that really get it and they want to know everything there is to know. So the quarterly star bonuses, they start at 2-star. So every single quarter, you and your team have to hold 2-star for 6 consecutive weeks. It's not 6 weeks total, it's 6 consecutive weeks. So that's why with the mindset of, I have to hold this rank in order to get to 1-star. And then all of a sudden you're like, okay, cool, I got there. Right? Like we've all been there. And then all of a sudden you kind of like step back a little bit. But in reality, no. Like you have to hold it in order for your coach to earn a quarterly star bonus. You know what I mean? Like, and you have to, obviously you want to hold it anyway. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's growth over maintenance, but it's for every 6 weeks. And then what that chart shows us is the deadline. So for instance, this Thursday is the deadline to start qualifications if you haven't already held it for that 6 weeks. Okay. So if your team right now isn't whatever your goal is, whatever your quarterly bonus goal is, 2-star, then if you don't lock it in, like if I'm personally not 2-star by Thursday, and then I get 2-star next week and hold it for the next 5 weeks, you lose that quarterly star bonus. So that's really first of all, to let you guys know that that's very important, and that's obviously huge. I mean, these bonuses could be up to anywhere, like a 2-star a bonus averages between 800 and 1,000. It's all based on the success of Beachbody in general as a whole. And then the 2-star bonuses share that pool. And then the 5-star bonuses share the 5-star pool, and then the 10-star bonuses. And guys, these bonuses are no joke. Not the little 2-star, 5-star. They're great. But I'm talking like the 15-star, like the 10-star, you're talking like up to like $30,000. So that's a huge, huge incentive. I mean, literally, like, even like with me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm 5-star in my first and 3-star, lifetime. I needed to get everybody back there. But that's why when I'm talking to my corporate mentors and stuff, like that's a factor. Again, as you're building your business, are you building for rank? Are you building for volume? Things like that, because quarterly star bonuses are huge. So if you can get to 5-star, obviously, and get the 5-star bonuses usually average about 3,000, and you also get the 2-star bonus. So they're actually about 4,000, because you're going to get, if you're a 10-star, you get all the bonuses underneath as well. So these are a huge incentive, you know what I mean? So when you're talking to your coaches individually, like when you're mentoring them and stuff like that, talking about rank advancement, the quarterly star bonuses are a really big incentive, because you're doing the same work, you know what I mean? You're just getting a bonus if your coaches continue to stay active, they continue to stay engaged, and they continue to maintain their rank. So again, 2-star averages about 8, 5-star averages about 3, and I don't know what 10-star is because I haven't been there yet, but I do sometimes, people share in the roundtable the bonus payout, and everyone's like, oh my God, like holy crap, like that is like a salary in itself, like just the quarterly star bonuses. So I really, really want to hit home how important they are for us, for your upline, for your team, for your coach, all of that. Because again, if you think about it, like even I think about it sometimes when I'm going through my sponsorship drill down, I'm like, damn, this girl is one coach away or one active coach away from locking in diamond. And that could mean the difference of locking in 2-star diamond for 6 weeks and getting a bonus. So it's a big deal. You know what I mean? And I just want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence by letting everybody know that it really truly does affect the whole team. And I don't want to get down, because then obviously, of course, you're going to get disappointed. You're like, oh my God, this person has one discount coach away, and that affects my income and my goals, obviously, for the quarter. And that's not, I'm speaking for myself, but I'm speaking for everybody, obviously. Do emeralds or diamonds get any? I need an incentive for almost, I wish, but no, there's no incentives for emeralds. I mean, we can do an internal, guys, here's the thing with this group. If you guys have an idea, if you guys, like Jen, like she's doing the Diamond Push group, we could definitely do in the Diamond Push group an incentive for emeralds. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a huge one, or maybe even do like an incentive for emerald pool. Like in other words, because in other words, we don't want to make that a big deal because it's not. You know what I mean? But if we even say like, hey, anyone that gets to emerald by tomorrow can get into a pool to win, blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want to make that a big deal. Because we all know if you make that a big deal, then Diamond's going to be like, oh my God, I'm the king of the world and I'm awesome. It is great, but we don't want that to be the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? Especially with people that want to be in this Diamond Push group. This isn't just in the core crew coach team. This is in a Diamond Push group, which means everybody that's in this group is pushing and they want to build their business. So we are not going to give you a freaking core crew tank top if you get to emerald rank. You know what I mean? Like that's just not going to, sorry. Like you're not like, maybe you'll get a packet of Energize, you know what I mean? But you're not getting like a tumbler or something big like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm done. Like, again, we're not thinking small. Like we're not emerald. Like, I mean, it's great, but it's not, you know, was the amounts for each quarter or was the amount for each quarter for the year, each quarter, Susie. Yeah. So it's a big deal. You know what I mean? So like I said, like, I don't want to get I don't want to wake up on Thursday and be deflated. You know what I mean? And Jen doesn't want to, and you guys won't once you get to 2-star, once you get, you know what I mean? Like it's a big deal. Like you're pouring everything into your business, into your team, into everything like that. And then sometimes I'm like, I need to make sure that everybody is aware of it. You know what I mean? Like everybody understands that because again, guys, this is somewhat my fault. Not really, but I mean, kind of. Like I definitely pumped up, and I always will. Obviously, if we need to get to elite, you need to say, hey, do whatever it takes. But I maybe put the thought into people's head of do whatever it takes, and then you're good for the rest of the time. You know what I mean? Like, whereas I'm like now, like, no, like you do whatever it takes. But yeah, but you don't, my goal this year is to not have to do whatever it takes because you're already doing whatever it takes every single day to continue to grow your business. And you know that, Susie, you know how I feel about that. Like the whole maintaining it and then losing it and all that kind of stuff. Like that's out. Like that's not what we want to do here. That's not our goal. That's not what we're trying to show our teams and our new coaches and all of that. So yeah, those are, I feel something from my almost ended. Yeah, I mean, does anybody have any, like, you guys can unmute yourself, any, like, you know, April needs to get one coach. I mean, she's great and she has customers, but it's hard, as we all know, to be like, dude, Yvonne to get back to Diamond just needs April to get one coach. So it's like, what is something does anybody have a quick tip or an idea that someone can say, hey, here's what I would do?
I don't know if it really pertains to that, but I guess, because I don't know how Jen did this and you did this, but because I feel like you did this with me, but I don't remember how. But how do you kind of come across like, hey, you know, this is like a team effort. Like I want the Healthy Hive to get to 2-star. I don't want me to get to 2-star. I want us to, and not come off as like, well, I want you to get me to 2-star so I can open up my second business center and get these quarterly bonuses. Like, how do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I have a good relationship with my coaches, but I don't want to ever seem like I don't know, like, I feel like dirty. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I want you to bust your butt just for me.
Yeah, but honestly, you're not approaching it that way. I never did. You guys know that. Most of you guys are on my team, and Susie and Danielle aren't, but we pretty much are. But to me, I was like, I always looked at it like because this is truly how I truly feel, and I know all of you guys do too. I truly want you guys to succeed. You know what I mean? Like everybody knows that. And like you said, your team knows that already. It's not like there's leaders out there where I'm like, dude, I would never want to be on your team because it's so obvious that everything that you're talking about is because of your goal. Like, I don't give a crap about your goal. No offense. I do if I like you and you're helping me every day and you're showing up and you're commenting and your team is commenting. Like, our team has that. We already have that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, I mean, we show up every single day. We're always supporting people in their posts. We're always commenting in their talent group. Like, we're always doing that stuff. We're always uplifting. We're recognizing all that. So I feel like they already know that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, that's what was holding me back for a while. But then all of a sudden when you're like, all right, guys, and I told you guys this, set a goal. My first year, literally, guys, I was a diamond when I decided in January to go elite. I was a diamond coach. I was not a 1-star diamond. I didn't have a diamond. I was just diamond in December. And I decided in January, I said, all right, guys, who's with me? Let's do it. We're going to be an elite team this year. Okay. And then all of a sudden, this person and this person was like, I'm in. I'm going for it. I'm going for diamonds. You know what I mean? Like that kind of a thing, because then you're incentivizing. And then what you do, and I didn't do this, is that you rally them to not really focus just on diamonds. Now I am. Now I'm like, to like you guys and stuff like that. I'm like, no, I want you guys to be an elite team. You know what I mean? Like, but in the beginning, so again, I like to talk to people about things that I would have done differently. And I definitely pumped up diamonds. I did. I'll admit it. You know what I mean? Because that was kind of like my goal. And I didn't want to overwhelm them and be like, well, diamond is nothing. But if you have the right vibe and the right training and the right, like, and we do, because we're always mentoring one-on-one and we have these diamond push groups and things like that. I think if you set a team goal, like Jen did, I know Jen talked to Danielle Marsh and she wanted to be a premier 2-star team. So you're working together. And again, the difference with our team and what I've seen other people do, and I've talked to other people and things like that, they set a goal, but then they don't help their team. You know what I mean? Like they set the goal, like, all right, like literally, I've heard horror stories where I'm like people are like crying, you know, and they're like upset because they're like, oh my God, like I'm going to like this, like, but they don't have like horror stories. Like, you know, you better like, this is so bad, but like someone sent me like a voice note that like one of the top coaches said to one of them, like, do you really want to be the reason that we're not a 10-star diamond all-star like that? Like, I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, let me put it this way. You do not have the right to talk to somebody like that ever. You know what I mean? Like, that's ridiculous. And I've always told people that, and Jen and myself and anyone else that's going to be going for that, you would never do that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to be 10-star if I'm going to be mean to people. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're trying to do. Like, we're truly trying to get our coaches to succeed, to earn money, to get income, all of that kind of stuff. Like that's what we truly want. We make it clear, especially in our push groups and our core group team, recognizing even Success Club points. That's a big deal because it is. You're helping someone. At least you had clothes on. So that's a big deal. So to me, when I was pushing, like, here's the biggest thing. And this is actually a pretty good idea. You ask the people who wants to be with you. You know what I mean? That's what I did. And I didn't even really necessarily realize I was doing that. But you're not assuming that everybody on your team wants to be a diamond. Because they don't. Maybe they don't. Or maybe they're not ready to yet. They're not ready to do the things. And that's why, guys, close the door. That's why I like this push group, and that's why we were saying, like when Jen was posting, you tell us if you want to be in this push group. I might see something in you, but if you don't want to be in the group, you're not going to do the things, right? And then we're going to start pulling our hair out and we're going, you said you wanted to be a diamond, and you're not even doing the things. No, that's why it's up to you. You find out from your team who wants to be your diamond. Who wants to get you to, like, really, who wants to get you to 1-star? Who has a goal to be a diamond coach? You're really good with that. Amanda and I already know Bree wants, she's like, I want Amanda to walk on stage. That's awesome. But she also wants to get diamonds. You know what I mean? Susie, the same thing. Like, you talk with Sherry and you talk to your girls. Like, they know that you guys are excited. Like, you're doing it together. Like, you're creating this, like, cultivation of positive and advancement and growth. You know, not just get to diamond so I can be a 1-star. It's all in the way that you present it to your team. And I remember specifically, like I said, the first year I was like, guys, and I had roach coaches, and I don't care. I'll call Zen a roach coach because she was back then. She was literally like, I was pulling her, like, do a freaking post. So she was a roach coach. And so were all my other coaches. Kathleen, I think, I don't even know if Kathleen was on my team, actually. And if she was also a roach coach. So those were like my two people that were actually like quote unquote runners, and they weren't really runners because they were like, I didn't want to post anything embarrassing, blah, 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 you know. So that was what I was working with. So I can guarantee you guys that, and I know that Zed and Kath are going to watch this back. But anyway, it's true. I hear cries, but anyway, be quiet. So anyway, so I made the goal, and they were like, all right, I'm all in. And honestly, and they will attest to this, that made them work harder. Like that because there was an actual goal. Like, you know how you say like there's no incentive for Emerald, there's no incentive really for Diamond necessarily? That was. You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, we can get to Premier if me and Kat get to Diamond? That's cool because they liked me and they knew that I was putting the work in. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was just like, guys, I want to walk the stage. I want to get this 2-star bonus. Like that's not what that's not what any of us are about, and we never will be. So your team will see that. And I know Yvonne, you know, is on the call now. She knew that getting to Diamond would get us to elite. And did that motivate you? Like she's nodding. That was a huge motivator. Not like, and it was also hard and it was also stressful. But what's not? Like what job isn't hard? Like if it wasn't hard, it's also hard to get fit. You know what I mean? Like everything's hard. Like if it wasn't, then it wouldn't be exciting. You know what I mean? But that is what lit the fire under her more than just getting to Diamond. Susie, what made you get to Diamond? There was a Utah retreat waiting for you at the end of those 6 weeks. Like there's things like that like there has to be a reason other than just, okay, well, I'm an Emerald, well, now what? Like literally, like, you know what I mean? Like they're going to be like, there has to be reasons, and us as leaders have to let them know what they are. If that means I'm going to give you this, if that means I'm going to send you this, if that means that's going to help me get to Diamond, then that's okay. You know what I mean? And that's what I was so like, you know, like Amanda was saying, I was like kind of nervous about that. Like, do I portray my goals onto them? Yes, because they're going to eventually have to do that with their teams. You know what I mean? Like that's the business. You will not get anywhere if your team doesn't. Like that's the bottom line. And if they don't understand that, if they don't know that, how are they going to go ahead and grow a team? So you're actually doing them a disservice if you're not giving them all that information, because I didn't have any of it. I had no idea. Like if I wasn't a Diamond, that I never dropped it. So I never had to think about it, but I didn't know, you know, like, so I was like, oh, okay. Like now that I know, I'm like, I need to make sure that they know. So for me personally, as a leader, Amanda, any of you guys, Danielle, Susie, Yvonne, Jen, tell your team your goals, because to me, that will pump them up and that will give them something to work towards. And it's not like you're sharing that goal and then being like, good luck. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you're sharing that goal and being like, look, here's how I did it. You know what I mean? Like, here's how I would suggest that you do it. You know, things like that. And then all of a sudden you get your one dime. You're like, all right, guys, we're at 1 star. Now we got to get to 2. We got to get, like, it's like a team effort, and either your message pod, your team page, whatever each person has, pump them up, blah, 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 blah. But if you focus on just Emerald, even with you, Yvonne, you know you need April to get to Emerald, but don't make it out to be like, okay, now good, now you're there, now you can relax, because you can't. Because you know what's going to happen? She's going to lose it, right? She's not going to understand the value in keeping that and keeping it strong. So the biggest thing for me is just sharing your goals and finding the people that get it. You know what I mean? Like because not everybody is. There's going to be Emeralds. I have a ton of Emeralds that are just sitting there, and they have their husband and maybe their friend or, you know, a discount coach on there. That's cool. Let me read these comments before. Oh gosh, I have a lot of these. And you guys can unmute yourselves too if you want. I don't need to be done. I didn't really understand it when Jen was going for it, but now we are clear on our goals. So that's perfect, Danielle. Like, and it meant something to you now. Like now it's like, it's not like Danielle being like, oh my God, I got to get to Diamond because then Jen's 1 star. Like that's not how we all think. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm saying to Yvonne, you better get to Diamond so I get to 2 star and get my bonus. Like, no, like, yes, but it's not just that. I'm also here with you guys and present every single day, and we're going for these team goals. And I'm trying to help you get yourself to 1 star Diamond and 2 star Diamond. Same thing with Danielle and Susie and all of us. Like, we're working together. But if they don't know it, then, and you didn't, because Jen even said, like, I didn't really realize it. Because here's why. Because in my second business center, Jen and Amanda were on the same leg. So I was never 2 star until Yvonne came along, and she made me 3 star because she went Diamond on the other leg. So now it mattered. You know what I mean? Like, now holding that mattered. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm learning. It mattered anyway. You know what I mean? So I should have made sure that everybody, again, I really wasn't in that growth over maintenance mindset. I was kind of in just keep the volume coming, and, you know, keep your team cycle bonuses. But then I'm like, you're leaving, first, 2 reasons. You're leaving a bonus on the table for maybe 1 discount coach. You're leaving an $800 bonus on the table for a discount coach. And number 2, I'm teaching my teams that it's okay to be just in maintenance mode. And that's out. You know what I mean? So that's that. I'm done with maintenance mode. If you explain it to them, that people will step up for you, but also because they're people who want to watch you do it. Exactly. 100%. That's what I say. Your coaches are going to want what you have. Like, Jen, you can attest to that. Like, you saw me going 2 star, you saw me going elite, and Jen was like, dude, I want that. I want to be 5 star, because you show that it's possible. Like, we all joined each other because we related to one another in some way, right? So if you see these other coaches getting to 5 star and 10 star, you don't really relate to that, because you're like, well, they're different. For whatever, even I was. I'm like, well, whatever. Of course, Brittany and Janelle Summers and you know, Ashley Molstad, but they're different. No, they're not. Like, they're not different. Like, they're just like us. If you hear their stories, they're just like we were when we started out. You know what I mean? But unless you have someone that's actually, that you know, not Danielle's coaches, because Danielle's coaches might look at me as an Ashley Molstad, like, oh, well, she's different. She's up here. Like, you have to be the one to say, listen, guys, here's my story, and here's how I did it. You know what I mean? So if you showing up and you continuing to grow, not you staying in maintenance mode, or even teetering on holding that diamond rank, that's going to show your team that like, oh, diamond's really hard. And diamond's really hard to keep. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do that. What complicated the Warriors quals is that you and Marcia need to hold it together. Right, exactly. And so close to the unders here, but it's all good. Exactly. And it's a learning process. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what this whole pod is here for. Not just me, but for you guys to take all this information back to your teams and to start that precedent. Even if you say, hey, like, we talked about this on our leadership call, blah, 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 and bring it back to your teams. I didn't really understand what was going on.
I thought you guys were staying up, like, trying to help me get to diamond. I didn't understand that if I got to diamond, Jen got to another level, which I still don't even think I totally understand the rank advancement. And then Carrie got to another level. Like, that all I need maybe to understand better, because honestly, for me, like, if I knew that I was going to help Jen and Carrie, that's even more important to me maybe than helping myself. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So that's exactly what Danielle said, Amanda. I guarantee your coaches feel the exact same way. You know what I mean? And the fact that you even asked that question, I think, is awesome, because that shows that you don't want to put your goals onto somebody else. So here's the way to avoid that. You don't assume that every single coach on your team wants to be a diamond. You can't, because that's going to turn people off. That's going to overwhelm them. And then all of a sudden they're going to quit because they don't want all that pressure. But these people do. You know what I mean? Those people that join the push group, they want all that pressure. They want it. They want to build a business. But anyway, so Danielle, so basically the way that it works, to get to 1-star diamond, you and your diamond have to hold it for 6 weeks. Okay? To get to 2-star diamond, you and that diamond and the other diamond have to hold it for 6 weeks. Okay? It's not like, oh, well, you already held it for 1 week. You always have to hold it for 6 weeks. So if I'm going 4-star in my second business center, me, Amanda, Jen, and Yvonne have to hold it all again together for 6 weeks to lock it in. Okay? And then for Premier, it's the same thing. Premier means your 2-star diamond. So you, Marcia, and Jen had to hold it for 6 weeks, but that night was the last day to qualify to hold it for 6 weeks. So it's kind of like the quarterly star bonuses. Like, we're saying this Thursday is the last day to get to diamond and hold it together for 6 weeks in order to get that quarterly star bonus. So Marcia would have to get back to diamond Thursday, and you have to hold it for 6 weeks, and Jen has to hold her diamond for 6 weeks in order for her to get the quarterly star bonus for the first quarter. Does that make sense?
And then when can Jen be up for Premier again?
Well, Premier, like the Premier qualifications, which would be great because she would have that one of the tiers is to be a 2-star diamond at one point in the year. So that would be one of the check boxes. But then there's also other things like the point ranking. So she has to earn a specific amount of points. You know what I mean? Like, and that doesn't really well, that does have to do with you, but you know, what we could talk about, like, and if you go into the Premier thing, you can talk about the points that we need. Same thing for Elite. Because she's not going for Premier. It's Elite. So you basically need like 105 Elite points, and then you have to have 5-star diamonds. So you'd have to hold 5-star for 6 weeks. So that, and believe me, Jen will be talking. As she gets closer and closer, she'll be letting you guys know exactly what you need to do. Same thing with me. So basically that's again, like, why we're talking about this. You know what I mean, guys? Like, this is a really big, important thing. Like, I just want to make sure everybody understands, first of all, growth over maintenance over anything. So I don't even necessarily ever want to have this call again, because I don't think any of us will ever have to worry about hopefully holding your diamonds. You know what I mean? But we're going to continue to get more diamonds, right? And they are going to need to understand this and know this. That's why Carrie and I want.
Yeah, and then the Premier and Elite, you have an entire year. That's not like a quarterly thing. You have an entire year to hold for 6 weeks to qualify. Basically, because for me, like at the point of last year, I had the points. You have like a volume, like qualification. Like there's a couple different qualifications, but the one thing I needed, like in a checkbox, was for us all to hold for 6 weeks. So like. But you can hit that 6 week mark in like March. You know, let's just say if I miraculously show up 5-star in like a month, you know what I mean? Like we could hold it as a 5-star altogether for 6 weeks in April. It doesn't matter. And that box is checked and then you're good. But it's just that our time wise for last year seemed like freaking insane because
you hit it
down in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Of holding that 6 weeks. So like I said, for Danielle and Marcia, I'm like, I never want to push off like if I could go back, I would have started like months before. Like I probably just waited too long to really like push. Like we put it down to the wire too close.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what we live and learn.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? We only have like 1 minute left, so I don't want to, I want to make sure, and I want to get a picture too. Okay, go ahead, quick.
I think the only thing I'm still like confused about is holding it for 6 weeks. So like, because I know I mentioned this to you before, but it's like if one of my coaches is projected inactive and their order doesn't process like that week that I need them to start, like, I don't know, the whole holding thing, I'm still confused about.
Well, you just have to be a diamond for 6 weeks.
So
Like,
it doesn't,
hold your diamond rank. Like you
Okay.
can't drop. Like you can't drop from diamond to emerald, or you know what I mean. Like your coaches can't. Like they have to stay a diamond for 6 consecutive.
Yeah. Why did I think it was, okay, never mind.
Yeah, but like Jen said, like even for me, like our team, the core crew to be elite, we have to be 5-star. We have to hold 5-star. We have to hold 5-star for 6 weeks anytime within the thing. So that's another reason. Like I don't want it to go to crunch time, like Jen was saying, in December, and maybe getting everybody stressed out and trying to hold. Like no, we're not. We don't have to do that. Like we're better than that. You know what I mean? Like it's not really that hard. And if it is, then how the hell are we going to tell our coaches that it is? You know what I mean? Like that's my biggest thing. Like we're all sitting there, we're doing this diamond push group, but you better be freaking diamond if you have coaches in there that are going for diamond. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on today is just basically us being a leader, showing them what's possible, setting goals for your team. Yvonne, I'll message you back about April because I know we kind of skipped over that, but or if anybody else has any great ideas in the pod, because we definitely need her to get to Emerald and if we can incentivize it. But I want to do a boomerang. So you guys ready? All right, okay, cool. We got some light.
Post filter tag.
You got it. All right, 1, 2, 3.